Hey, it's Shellcase and Kid. And this week, Mrs. Shellcase and Kid made a pretty awesome find. Take a look at this.
I think I found something really amazing. I think this is an Indian arrowhead. I just happened to be looking in a creek right before I'm about to basically quit for the day. And this sure looks like an Indian head to me. I've never found one, but I've seen a lot online. And this is crazy.
Pretty cool, huh? I did get out to metal detect this week. I got back to those woods where I found the Real and the King William III half pennies that were in last week's video. I had no luck finding any coins this week, but I did find a couple neat artifacts, and I found one that's really cool. So take a look at these. It's the little pistol ball that just came out. This hole. Wind's really bad today, so you can see it's lead. Not big enough to be musket, but it's definitely a pistol ball. It's a little adjuster of some kind, strap adjuster, probably for like a pair of suspenders. Well, I already found a fork, and now here's a spoon. Really lightweight. Wow. Here's an interesting find. I just came across this as it was a 66, and if you check it out, it says licensed, probably a dealer. It looks like a wooden cart right there. So I'll have to clean this up better when I get home. It does say patent under it. It has patent dates, and it says Selden. So I'm wondering if that's a carriage company. I just found something really cool, and I found one before, but they're not very common, so take a look. Yes. Conestoga bell. Oh yeah. Conestoga bell. Oh man, love it. Oh man, these are rarer than crodal bells, and this one is just really, I'm not even going to unpack it until I get home, but man, that is an awesome find. This was a solid 80 signal. Conestoga bell. Wow, awesome find. Yeah. Oh, this one's a weird one. What is this? Thought it was a tail light off of a car, maybe? But that's all glass on the bottom. It's got a copper or brass sleeve. And then it's got that really cool glass dome. I have no idea what this is. Cleaned it up, show it to you in the roundup. Just found this 3-point antler. It's all chewed on by little creatures. That was the only part that was sticking out of the ground. The rest of this was all under the ground. So you can See someone chewing on it there. It's a neat find. Here's a tiny little D-buckle. Tiny and old. Look at that thing. Alright. I like it. I think it's like the size of my thumbnail. Oh, a little bigger. Alright, cool find. Okay, here's the roundup. Start with the antler. You can see where some little creatures were chewing on it. They chew on these for the nutrients. It's a 3-point. One of the points either broke or was chewed off. But there's the button, so this was a shed. It's always cool to find one of these. It's the third one I've found since I started this channel. This was just laying in the leaf litter. It's a lead candlestick. It's really heavy weight. Looks like it was gold gilt at one time, but definitely lead because there's nothing else that would weigh that much. It's pretty heavy. So here's the end of a spoon handle and then a spoon. And this spoon is a Royal Saxony, and that was from 1935. Here is, I'm thinking that this is a tail light from a truck or a car. There's no information on it, no patent dates, nothing. There's not even a part number on the glass or on the little brass ring. I can't believe I was able to dig this without breaking this piece of glass. I did bruise it back here, but I did not break the glass. And I mean, this was probably pretty complex to mold, so I can't imagine it's terribly old, but I could be wrong. If anyone out there has any info on it, please let me know, but I'm going to say it's a tail light, maybe on an automobile or a truck. Okay, 2 lead balls. One is probably a musket, and the other is probably a pistol ball. Tiny little D-ring. Here's 2 more suspender parts, the clip and then that's an adjuster. They were right near one another. And then here's the one from last week. So I think I found most of a pair of suspenders that was probably left in those woods. Here's that little brass tag. It says licensed under Selden patent, and then it has a patent number and then a patent date of November 5th, 1895. It's when I looked up the patent number, it brought me to a website for George B. Selden, who was had a patent for an early combustion engine. He got in a lot of legal battles with Henry Ford about it. But interesting story, and that probably was on, you know, probably an early automobile, probably before the 30s, I would imagine. Here's the best find metal detecting. Now you would think that this was a Conestoga bell, and I can compare it to the one that I dug about last year, and you can see it's not a Conestoga bell. It's actually a souvenir from the Centennial Exposition in 1876 in Philadelphia. It's a tiny little version of the Liberty Bell. It doesn't look much like the Liberty Bell though, because I've seen the real one. It does say proclaim liberty throughout all the land, and then it has 1776 to 1876. So probably was like had the wood member, like cross member at the top, and maybe a stand, but this is all that's left of it. But man, how neat is it to get a little souvenir from the Centennial Exposition of 1876. That was in Fairmount Park in Philadelphia, which isn't far from these woods, probably about maybe 20 miles. And then the find of the week, Mrs. Shellcase and Kid crushed it with, I mean, no doubt about it, arrowhead. You can see the way it was worked. I mean, that's just a beautiful find. And holy smokes, how old is this thing? Just great find. Hundreds of years old. I've still never found one of these, and I'm really jealous, but yeah, definitely find of the week. Okay, that's everything for this week. Take a look next week. I don't know if I'm going to have a video next week, but if I make any finds, I'll make sure I put something together. Until then, wash your hands and always be looking down. Here's that wagon wheel that I dug at the Real Woods. And I think the wood went inside of this steel rim because there's some bolts down here that look like they would bolt, and then those look like clamps, but there's only a clamp at this side and that side. So, and then here's how thick it is. But I definitely think that that's a wagon wheel. It's tall. It's about it's easily 3 feet in diameter.